There are many reasons to act. Justice, the honour of the Crown, working together to make Canada the fair and just country we imagine it to be. But there are many other compelling reasons, and a major one is the economic well-being of Canada. In 1996, the Royal Commission on Aboriginal Peoples estimated the cost of lost productivity under the current system was $7.5 billion. By 2010, if we don't change the situation, if we don't improve the conditions of Aboriginal people, the cost will be $12 billion. In other words, First Nations could be contributing this amount to the economy if we had better ways to harness our potential. There couldn't be a better time. Canada is facing a labour shortage. By 2016, there will be more Canadians leaving the workforce than entering it. The exception is our population, First Nations. We are coming of age as the rest of Canada is aging. The Canada West Foundation has correctly stated that the public and private sector must reach out to our young population to ensure that they are better educated and equipped to take their place as the drivers of the economy. They recognize that we cannot compete globally if we are losing our workforce. We cannot compete globally if industry loses its access to land and resources. We have seen in the current Mackenzie pipeline debate how a multi-billion-dollar project can be stalled if we do not deal with First Nations interests. The Supreme Court stated that Canada has a duty to consult, even where Aboriginal title is not clear. Our people are not anti-development. We do want to ensure that development is responsible, sustainable, and we want to share in that development. This is not just about money. This is about resource revenue sharing. This is about jobs, training, a better life, and a better future for all of us. Our people also want to be engaged now more than ever in the wider political landscape. For example, in the last federal election, we had the greatest turnout of voters, First Nation voters, than we have ever had before in our history. We want this to continue. The Assembly of First Nations will once again work with Elections Canada to ensure that in the next election, if it happens in 12 months, 16 months, 18 months, 2 years, 4 years, that First Nations will participate even more effectively than we did in the election just passed. This is crucial when we see what the future holds for Canada and the need to seek our rightful place in this country. Don Drummond, chief economist for the TD Bank, said in a report last month that Canada could hit the revenue motherlode in this year's budget. He is forecasting an extra $3 billion in federal revenue for 2006-2007, and almost as much in 2007 and 2008. I have seen calculations indicating that the energy, forestry and mining sectors contribute $141 billion to Canada's economy. Much of that economy would not be available to Canada if our ancestors were not willing to strike honourable agreements to share in the riches of this beautiful land. We are entitled, our people are entitled to a fair share of this nation's prosperity. This is what our treaties tell us. That is what the Supreme Court says. And this is what our elders tell us. And increasingly, this is what Canadians are saying. We have the resources, we have the means, and more importantly, we have the plan. We are not one of this government's top 5 priorities. We saw the speech from the throne this week. I was disappointed. Many of our people were disappointed, but not surprised by the lack of references to our issues and our agenda. We will be watching the federal budget to get a better sense of this government's agenda. We will press for a progressive, collaborative agenda for change. I believe that we can begin to write a new chapter in our history, one based on mutual respect and mutual reconciliation. We will need your support, all of you, and indeed your voice. This is about strong and healthy First Nations and a strong and vibrant Canada. This country was founded on sharing and respect. Those values that we embraced in the past point the way to a better tomorrow. Now more than ever, the future of First Nations is the future of Canada. I hope you will join us in this historic undertaking to close the gap and begin a new journey together. Miigwech. Thank you.